The Mystery of the Seven Stones, a journey of inner growth. Once upon a time, in the deep valleys of distant lands, there was a village surrounded by dense forests. This village had long been known as the Valley of the Seven Stones. According to legend, there were 7 stones that protected the valley, each carrying a different wisdom. The stones were scattered in various corners of the valley, and each one could only be found by a person with a specific character. The villagers believed that finding these stones was a kind of trial, and only a true seeker could unlock their mysteries. Arda, a young boy living in the village, was always fascinated by these stories. Despite his father's repeated warnings about the dangers of the valley, Arda was determined to go after the stones. To him, this was not just an adventure, but an inner journey. The path to finding myself is through finding these stones, he thought. One morning, as the sun rose, Arda set out. He packed only a few days' worth of food, a water flask, and a small compass left to him by his grandfather. It was said that the first stone was at the western edge of the valley, at the base of a mountain called Courage Rock. The first stone. Courage. After a long walk, Arda reached the base of the mountain. The path was filled with thorny bushes, steep rocks, and dangerous cliffs. With each step, Arda faced his fears: fear of falling, fear of being alone, fear of failure. But with each step, he managed to gather his courage and continue. Eventually, near the summit of the mountain, he found a blue stone. Engraved on it were the words, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the act of taking a step despite it." Arda carefully put the stone in his pocket and set off in search of the second stone. The first stone had instilled in him a sense of inner confidence. The second stone, patience. The second stone was located deep inside a cave in the eastern part of the valley. To reach the cave, Arda had to pass through a narrow and dark path. Along the way, he often felt like losing his patience due to the constantly changing terrain and darkness. However, he realized that rushing would not help, so he advanced slowly but steadily. At the end of the cave, there was a green stone. It read, "Patience is the greatest virtue needed to enjoy the ultimate reward." The second stone taught Arda the value of patience. He put the stone in his pocket and began searching for the third one. The third stone, compassion. Arda now headed to the south of the valley, where there was a forest known as the Forest of Lost Children. The forest got its name from legends of children who had gone missing there, and it was said that those who entered never returned. As Arda stepped into the forest, he felt a strange sense of unease. After a while, he heard the sound of a child crying. Approaching the sound, he found a little girl sitting on the ground, crying. Arda hesitated at first because he did not want to waste time, but then an inner voice told him he had to help. He approached the girl, offering her water and food, and spoke gently to calm her down. After some time, the girl realized that Arda was on a journey and hugged him gratefully. Just then, behind a nearby bush, a pink stone appeared. It read, "Compassion begins with showing kindness not only to others, but also to yourself." Arda took the third stone and continued his journey, understanding that compassion extends not only to people, but also to nature and all living things. The fourth stone, perseverance. In the northeastern part of the valley lay an area known as the Endless Sand Dune. Due to the constantly shifting winds, making progress there was extremely difficult. As Arda struggled through the sands, he fell down multiple times, but each time he got back up and kept walking. No matter how much the dunes changed, Arda's determination never faltered. Eventually, he found a yellow stone among the sands. It read, "Perseverance is the strength to keep going in the face of adversity." The fourth stone strengthened Arda's resolve even more. He put it in his pocket and set out in search of the fifth stone. The fifth stone, honesty. It was said that the fifth stone lay by a river in the center of the valley. The river was clear, revealing the stones beneath its waters. Arda noticed that one of the stones stood out from the others. Stepping into the water to reach it, he read the inscription, "Honesty is the purest reflection of a heart as clear as water." Arda pondered the meaning of these words and realized that honesty must be present not only in words, but also in actions and intentions. He picked up the fifth stone and began searching for the sixth one. The sixth stone, wisdom. The sixth stone was hidden in the great beech forest under the shade of ancient trees. As Arda advanced through the forest, he came across an old sage. The sage posed a riddle to Arda, saying that solving it was the key to finding the stone. At first, Arda struggled to understand the answer, but by reflecting deeply on the sage's words, he eventually solved the riddle. Suddenly, a gray stone appeared in the trunk of an old beech tree. It read, "Wisdom is not always found in the easiest answer, but in the deepest thought." Arda learned that true wisdom requires patience and deep understanding. He collected the sixth stone and set off towards the final one, located at the farthest corner of the valley. The seventh stone, love. The final stone was at the peak of a hill called Love Hill, in the northern part of the valley. When Arda reached the summit, the sky had turned orange as the sun was about to set. At the very top, he found a heart-shaped red stone. It read, "Love is the source of all virtues and the greatest unifying force." Arda felt the warmth of the stone in his heart. He realized that without love, none of the virtues could truly exist. With a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, he gathered all the stones and began his return to the village. When Arda returned from the Valley of the Seven Stones, he was no longer just an adventurer, but a wise traveler. As he brought the stones to the village square, the villagers realized that he had not only collected the stones, but had also discovered their true wisdom. The story is over. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel for more such amazing stories. Love you guys so much. See you.